And here's the thing, folks, is that there's not a lot of effects in this movie.
Not a single bad performance in this movie, genuinely. A lot of snow. It's a lot of snow. But every moment that she is on screen is amazing.
Then I sip, drink. It's pearly white and look the same. I did everything the wrong way, and now I'm fighting off this play. This mirror ain't showing the same.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. We're your back asswards boys. I'm Kyle.
I'm Arden. And this week we watched 1980's The Shining, and we are going to be putting it up against the internet's most scientifically accurate horror movie rating scale.
Hold on to your asses, because things are about to get backwards. Based on Stephen King's 1977 novel by the same name, The Shining premiered to mixed reviews from both critics and the author himself, and saw moderate success with a box office of $48 million off of a budget of just 19. This was Stanley Kubrick's 11th film, and it truly shows how he has honed his craft over his career, combining striking shot composition with help from cinematographer John Alcott, complex character writing aided by Diane Johnson, and innovative filmmaking techniques like the first major use of long Steadicam shots. Music from Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkind sets a tone that will keep your jaw clenched and your heart racing. Shelley Duvall, Jack Nicholson, and Danny Lloyd give all-time career-high performances. Since then, however, audiences have come around to laud it as one of the pinnacles of horror as a genre. And we're going to start off strong, as we always do, with direction, and it's really hard to understate the direction of this movie. Of course it is. We're a film review channel, which means of course we are going to dick ride a Stanley Kubrick movie. He's one of the best to have ever done it, and it really shows in this movie. Honestly, the long shot of Shelley Duvall talking to the doctor in the beginning of the film, where she's just holding the cigarette right next to her head, and we see like a 2-inch long ash as it just starts to burn down. Beautifully done. It really helped build her character, and it really is just solidified through all of the staging in this movie. Arden and I both come from theater backgrounds, and so the blocking of this movie is insanely impressive. It's almost done like a stage production in a lot of ways. Specifically when Wendy's leaving the bedroom and grabs the baseball bat behind Danny is another great moment. You get the rule of thirds there. We have Danny in one, we have the baseball bat in the middle, and then we have her leaving in the third. Phenomenal. We also loved how long everything takes to develop. It's a 2.5 hour long movie, but it really doesn't feel like that because it's paced so well. Another great moment is when they let us marinate in Jack hitting the bathroom door with the axe, breaking through both of the doors, actually. Really takes a long time, and we really feel the tension, and we really feel Wendy's terror in those moments. And it's, again, really hard to understate the directing of this film. Arden and I kind of really both agree there's only one ding.
Just one. There's
just one ding on the direction of the movie, although we do disagree on how much the dog furry, you might even need to beep me here, the furry scene really gives it a good punch to the face, honestly, on the rating there. But I'm still gonna give it a 9.8, a minus 0.2 for the dog scene.
Yes, this would have been a 10 had it not been for the dog scene. I'm giving Kubrick a full half-point deduction because it is so striking and it really does take you out of the movie. So 9.5. And now moving on to the writing of this movie, which is, it's based off of a book, right? And so most of the time you have a lot to go off of when you are basing characters off of a book. And that is true in this movie. The characters are very, very interesting. However, I do feel like I'm kind of missing out on some things because I haven't read the book based off of what me and Kyle have like looked up on the internet since we watched the movie. But that being said, there's not a lot of wasted space in the writing. And something else that I will also say that I like about the writing is that I really like the language that they use. It's dated perfectly. Like all the euphemisms, all the mannerisms that they have in this time period, really, really well done. Overall, I liked the writing. Not the strongest I've ever seen, but definitely not weak. I'm giving it an 8.7. It was good.
It was good. I think it's just a little bit stronger. I'm giving it an 8.8.
We love an 8.8.
Absolutely. The cinematography in this movie, again, incredibly strong. This movie is a feast for the eyes. Every single shot that we get from the opening is not only beautifully composed, but so beautifully composed that just about every single frame of this movie has been recreated in popular media since the production of this movie. We also had a lot of revolutionary filmmaking techniques. Specifically, this was the first major film to use a Steadicam. Kubrick actually was the first director contacted by the inventor of the Steadicam to use it in the film. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. And just knocked it out of the park right away with how to use such a amazing and honestly, at this point, standard tool for a film. A lot of snow. It's a lot of snow. But it lets Kubrick do his signature thing, which is lighting, right? Kubrick was absolutely obsessed with lighting, and the snow shots in this film let him play with that at a 10. And it is amazing. Another thing that we get in this movie that Kubrick turns up to a 10 is these point of view shots, and a combination of the point of view shots and shots using mirrors. We see a lot of mirrors in this movie, and he uses them as a storytelling device really, really, really well. We also get a lot of these really, really close up, and especially for modern times, long shots of people talking, of people thinking and not saying anything. And all of these are used to build the tension and to move the plot forward. And so because of that, I have to give the cinematography a 9.3.
I love the cinematography in this movie as well. I thought it was really strong. I'm giving it a 9. And now moving on to the music of the movie, another essential component to any movie, and especially any horror movie. And can I just say, some of my favorite music that I think I've ever seen in a horror movie shows up in this movie. I mean, shy of being like The Exorcist or Alien to a certain degree, right? It is so iconic, the music in this movie. Particularly something that Kyle and I talked about when we were watching the movie was the very beginning of the movie and how well the soundtrack was used to help set the tone and the setting of the film, which I thought was really, really well done. The music also supported the more suspenseful parts of the movie. It assisted in what we talk about a lot on the show in terms of building and releasing tension. And when the music can help you support what's going on, it just makes for cranking it up to a 9 or a 10 in a film. Also, a little personal tidbit about the music for me in this movie is that even though I've seen this movie several times before Kyle and I watched it, the music jump scared me when Jack was chasing Danny through the snowfield at the end, which is just another testament to how great this music was. I am giving the music a 9, a 9.0.
Yeah, this music is arguably as iconic as the cinematography. It's been repeated and reused in hundreds of films. I'm giving this music a 9.5.
Going on the soundtrack playlist, I see.
Several of them will be. Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which brings me to the acting. Not a single bad performance in this movie, genuinely. I want to give us 2 specific shout outs. I want to give one shout out to Tony Burton, who played Durkin, the head chef, the second person with the shining ability. When he turns his head and talks to Danny in the pantry for the first time, I think might be one of my favorite moments in the entire movie. And speaking of Danny, I want to give a shout out to Danny Lloyd, the child actor in this movie. Something I've said on the channel a couple of times is that sometimes child actors, they're so good that it almost makes me nervous, because I'm like, why are you this good in this scenario? I don't like it. He was phenomenal, and I don't know if acting just wasn't really his vibe or whatever, but he really didn't have much of a career outside of this series. And I wish he had, because he was amazing. The acting gets a 10.
Yes. And again, this acting score is us analyzing the acting as a group effort, because we'll be giving out some
Yes.
special awards at the end. So just hold on. We'll get there. But as a group effort, very strong, perfect 10 out of 10. And that brings us to the effects. And here's the thing, folks, is that there's not a lot of effects in this movie. One of the only real effects that we can point to in this movie is the blood elevator, which wonderful, right? And they use it several times throughout the movie really effectively, but that's kind of it. The blood elevator is doing a lot of heavy lifting for the score for this, and we both decided to give it a 7 for this category.
Yeah, the only other kind of notable effect that I might point to would be the woman in the bathtub. The gross one, not the other one. The makeup was insane on her. It was really really well done.
Really
It does get a little ding though from the special effect on, I can't remember the guy's name, when Shelley Duvall is running from Jack in the end and he's got like the crack down his skull.
Oh yeah.
It definitely,
the racist guy.
yes, the racist guy. It's definitely giving like high school theater a little bit. Not the best effect by or makeup by any means, but I think the woman in the bath makes up for that, honestly. So 7 out of 10, great place to be. Which brings me to the vibe, and this might have one of the best vibes of any movie that I have ever watched. This was my first time watching this movie, and we're recording this not even 20 minutes after finishing it, and I'm still a little bit speechless. I was silent for like the last hour of the movie almost, and Arden and I are usually talking through the whole movie because that's just what we do. But every single aspect of this movie draws you in, and I don't feel this way very often, but I would watch that movie again right now. And specifically as a point for the vibe, it's a great movie to throw on in the background of your Halloween party, which I think is a very hard accolade to earn, and I think it's a very prestigious accolade to earn. The vibes get a 10.
And I think that this would be a good point to talk about this and also show this in the video. Kyle did not know. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Kyle did not know. Kyle did not know the red rum reveal, so let's show that clip right here. Did that just clock to you?
Are you fucking kidding me? Red rum is murder backwards! Are you fucking kidding me?
Let's go.
Oh! Do we even need to finish the movie? Like,
yes, we do.
Come on, dude.
I was so glad to be a part of this moment with Kyle. And again, I feel like everything that Kyle just said is exactly the reason why it lands. It's because of the vibe, and that's why it gets a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads us to the scares and the kills in this movie. And there's really only one kill in this movie. It's when we kill the head chef at the end. Mm-hmm. He takes an axe to the chest, right? And it was good. There was nothing really special in terms of that kill, in my personal opinion. But what I will say about that kill, it's just very effective in the story. It lands dramatically very, very well. In terms of the scares, again, I felt like there were some jump scares that were really effectively done. There was even like one scene transition at the beginning of the movie that kind of jump scared me, and it was really well done, and I feel like it was kind of intended that way. So really, really strong overall. Not the highest score that we've ever seen on the channel. I'm going to give the scares and the kills a 7.6. They were good. I like them.
Again, not a lot of scares in the movie, but despite not having a lot of scares, a scary movie, which
Yeah.
I think is great. I don't know how he freaking did it, but I'm glad he did. I'm coming in a little bit higher, 7.7. And that brings us to our special category for this film. And we've mentioned it a couple of times, and it's revolutionary. So we kind of have to give it a shout out here. Our favorite steady cam shots from the movie, because it is rich with them. And pretty much all of them are very well executed. And not only that, but bring you into the universe and bring you into the moment in the film. Make you feel like you're walking down the halls of the Overlook Hotel with these characters. And we both actually agree on the scene where Danny is riding his bike down the hall and turns the corner and sees the twin girls standing there. Come and play with us, Danny.
So good. It was so good.
I'm giving the bike turn steady cam shot a 9.7. Partially for its effectiveness, but also I will admit cultural impact is absolutely affecting that vote.
I am just coming in a little bit lower. Maybe I'm not giving it the respect that it deserves, but I'm going to give the bike turn an 8.9. And now, folks, it is time for our awards on the Back Asswards Boys channel. And we are giving out 2 awards tonight, Best Performance and Best Effect. And as always, we will start with Best Performance. And folks,
I don't think it's very difficult. Well, actually,
I mean, we had to have a conversation about it.
It is very difficult to pick the best performance for this movie because
everybody in this movie was great. You could have given it to so many actors in this movie. Honestly, even some of the smaller parts, right? Some of the more supporting actors in this movie. But we do think that one person had a very special performance, and maybe it was for a couple reasons that we'll talk about on the podcast for this movie. Our Best Performance award tonight goes to Shelley Duvall, who just absolutely killed it in this movie. She's so good. Her Scream Queen. That's what I have to say. Scream Queen.
The fact that we don't get more screen time with her really is a crime, honestly, because every moment that she is on screen is amazing. And I'm gonna go off on a whole other tangent, but the fact that she didn't get like an Oscar nomination for this movie is insulting, honestly.
The fact that she got disrespected for this at the Raspberry Awards is honestly a crime.
And the fact that it took the Raspberry Awards like 40 plus years to rescind that is
crazy,
wild. And Best Effect is going to, again, we kind of maybe hinted at it earlier, the blood elevator. You said it yourself. It's like those ice cutting videos. It's like ASMR almost. It is. Yes. It's so satisfying, and it's Stanley Kubrick, so of course it was practical. And I mean, I like that it's used as like B-roll almost to cut between scenes sometimes, but it's also used as a plot device, and it's also like left up to your interpretation as to what exactly it means and what it represents. And then I love that we get the hint of it first, and then we get Wendy seeing it at the end of the movie. It's used so well. And that, guys, brings us to our final scores. Yes. We're going to do some math really quick. We'll see you in a minute.
5 hours later.
All right, guys.
And
we are back. Arden, you want to start us off this week?
I could start us off. So I came in at an 8.8 out of 10
I, being the Stanley Kubrick dick rider that I am, came in just a little bit higher at a 9.1.
Ooh.
I
very
did.
nice.
We both had to do some rounding for anyone that's like checking our math. So I did round up because I loved the movie. Arden, you rounded
I did round down to the 8.8.
down. You
I did
rounded
round
down.
I
I
felt
wasn't
like you deserved
expecting that.
I know, and the thing is that I love this movie.
Interesting.
Please don't come at me in the comment section. I love this movie. Right?
No, get your pitchforks. Let's hear it, everybody. Come on, get your torches. Mob,
right, I
we are
probably
forming to
deserve
the
it.
left.
I have been doing my pagan rituals nightly, but I don't know. I decided to round down. Okay, sue me.
You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
And that makes our back-asswards cumulative score an 8.95, which I think is a wonderful place for this. It really should. Should we just round up to the 9?
I think we should round up.
Let's round up to the 9 then.
Let's round up to the 9.
9.
So that puts The Shining right in between The Exorcist and Alien, which,
Yes,
yeah, I think
I
that's
vibe with that.
I think that's fair. Yeah, that's perfect. That's right where it should be.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching this week's review, everybody. If you liked it, subscribe, and if you didn't, comment and let us know what you thought. I'm Kyle.
I'm Arden, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I brush my teeth and I sip drink.